Mike here. I think I'm going to try to start attacking this right here on my car. I think that's how I'm going to cut it. I might cut it a little bit different, but I want to get that fixed. I got to get that trim piece off the car. There's a small dent in the front of the fender. I'm going to see if I can't start getting this rust done. I'll have 2 holes over there I'm going to fill, tack them full weld, which shouldn't be that bad. But I'm going to see if I can't start getting this front fender fixed. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. Then I'll go in the shop and we'll show you how I'm going to try to make a patch. I've ordered a patch online. Try to put it in another fender. I didn't like the patch at all. So to fix that fender, I'm going to have to basically do the same thing. But this one's already on the car. It's not in that bad a shape. So I'm going to see if I can't just go ahead and fix this fender. So let's see what kind of dust and stuff we can create. Okay guys, I don't know how well this is going to show up, but I got that piece cut out. Most of it was just dirt pushing that out. I mean, I got the piece in the shop, and I'll show you here in a second when I move to the shop. But I got that piece cut out, and I'm going to draw and make me a new patch panel. This one lip right here, it's going to need to be hammered down. It feels fairly solid, so I hope I don't burn through when I start spot welding it. Excuse me guys. But I soaked the crap out of this with some good old vinegar and water. And the vinegar and water is going to sit on here and kill the rust in that. I'm not really worried about that structural piece inside the fender. I am going to let this dry real good, and I'm going to spray it with some black rust stop. But I mean, I don't want to get it too muddy out here. As you can see, I'm working on dirt. I'm gonna let that dry up real good. The rest of the fender feels really solid, so I'll put that patch in there, smear on some fiberglass kitty hair, let it dry, and then I'll cut those other 2 pieces that hold the trim on off, tack up those holes, and sand the crap out of this fender and get it nice and smooth. Put a couple coats of filler primer on it, and then I got to proceed on the front end up there where that trim is right there and that reflector marker light is. I'm going to proceed on cutting that out and welding in my other marker light that I have off of a 3rd gen Camaro. That's what I did on the other fender. It looks real sharp. I'm going to take some measurements on the other fender. Start getting this fender done. It'd probably be easier if I took the front bumper off, but right now I'll probably just mask it off when I prime everything and just sand in there the best I can with my fingers. And then when I actually get ready to paint the car, I'll take the bumper off and do that front part of that fender and make sure it's all correct, and then prime that part. So that's what we're looking at. Let me go in the shop and I'll show you I'm going to make that patch. It's going to probably require some trimming, but here we go. Okay guys, here's that piece. I'm going to lay it on this sheet metal, and I'm going to lay it on this sheet metal, and I'm not too concerned about the bottom being a little bit off. Like I said, it's probably going to take some trimming. And over here, I'm just going to guesstimate probably 1/4 inch. And I'm going to come down, probably going to go straight up from here and trace it over. And I'm going to leave it a little bit big so I can do some trimming. But let's get this car looking better. Let's trace this out. I got to get that bolt off the back of it so it'll lay flat. I'm just going to grind it off. Then we'll cut out this patch and go see what it looks like on the car. Okay guys, I got the patch traced out. And one thing I want to tell y'all is when y'all do this, make sure it's as flat as possible. Now, if you flatten it out and then put it on your metal and trace it out, then when you put it on the car, you can put the bins back in it and everything will be about like it is on the car. Like I said, it's probably going to take some trimming, and I'm probably going to have to fill up a lot of little pinholes, a little bit of grinding. But let's get this cut out and see what it looks like on the car, and then we'll know where to go from there. Okay guys, I didn't show y'all the trimming part of this up. I think y'all understand if it doesn't fit in the hole, y'all got to recut it. But my patch overall is looking good. I got some little bit wider gaps than I want, but overall it's fitting in there. I still need to see if I can't form it a little bit. I keep dropping it. I'm not working in the best and trying to do stuff one-handed, but there's my patch. Okay, there's my hole. I'm fixing to spray some rust stop on it. Got the contour pretty close. I don't know if you can see it right there, but when I'm going to tack weld it on the bottom first, then I'm going to just slowly push it up and tack weld it in place. It's holding real good. My gaps are a little bit wide in a couple spots, but I'll just fill those up with weld and I should be okay. So I'm going to go get my grinder, clean this area up, and then I'm going to spray this and let it dry for a few minutes, and then I'm going to proceed to start tack welding it in. And then I got to get my grinder out here and grind these off, grind that off. There'll be a few little holes I got to tack up. And then I got to take that trim piece off. Hopefully it comes off fairly easy. I might have to remove the front tire, but I'm not too concerned with that tonight. I just wanted to at least get this patch in here. It's not going to rain or anything tonight. This whole rust hole right here, I could probably go ahead and patch it, but in my opinion, it's just crumbling. So I'm just going to spray some of that rust stop on it. It's structurally sound, and maybe when the water gets up in here, it'll actually run out like it's supposed to with that hole. I don't know, but I'm just going to cover that hole up. It's just going to be a daily driver car. It's not going to be a $400,000 show car. Let me get this cleaned up and we'll start tacking this in. Okay guys, I got it covered pretty good with some rust stop. I'm going to go get my welder and I'm going to start tacking this in. And I'll show y'all just what I've done and where. And maybe I can't film it while I do it, but maybe y'all can see what I'm doing. Okay guys, that's what it looks like. There's a couple pinholes in it that I'll take care of later, but you can hardly even tell I patched that. Now, I'm not going to kid you, it took about an hour to get to that point. It's ready for the kitty hair. I got a low spot right here that going to probably take a little bit of filler, but the rest of it's really smooth. I am going to cover the whole thing in filler. We'll start out with kitty hair, put it on there tomorrow, do some bunch of sanding. I still have to cut these off, but it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I don't want to get in trouble with the law or anything. And I notice I have some pinholes down there I'm going to try to go ahead and get with weld. I'm going to fill up those 2 holes. I'm going to spread the first coat of fiberglass over it and the rest will be Bondo. Not too concerned about this paint right here. When I start sanding the Bondo, most of that will come off. I'm only going to prime to right there. That front part of that fender needs a little bit more work, and primer's cheaper than paint, so I'm just going to prime it real good, get it sealed, and then block it a little bit and then prime it again, and I'll fix the front part of that fender. I'd do the same thing on the other fender, but I'm going to take the tire off. I'm trying not to remove this fender from the car because The other fender I fought and fought and fought to get it to line up right. So let me go get that welder. I'm going to go ahead and try to weld those holes up and grind them smooth, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, I got those holes spot welded in. I'm ready for fiberglass. I fixed that pinhole down at the bottom, which was almost a mistake. I started burning through real easy. So I don't think it'll give me any future trouble, but I'm going to put some fiberglass on here and let it dry. I'll show you how I spread it and everything and let it dry, then come out here and sand it. This spot right here, you know, it still kind of feels low, but when you make a homemade patch, what can you do? It's not extremely low, but it's low enough that I can feel it. But I'm going to smear some fiberglass on here, then I'll smear some Bondo. We'll see how it turns out. I'll be right back. Okay guys, I put the first coat of Bondo on there, which is actually fiberglass kitty hair, and I know I'm still low right here, right there, and I'm still low right here. I accidentally mixed it a little hot, so I couldn't show you all the mixing process. It was already hardening up on the board before I could even get out of here, so I just spread it pretty quickly. It's actually not coming out too bad. I gotta fill these in. It ain't gonna take much Bondo. Right here, it's not gonna take much. And believe it or not, I didn't even know this dent was there. That's perfectly smooth now. So that's a good thing about smearing Bondo over your whole project. You'll find small imperfections like that, and it'll take less filler primer, and also take less time block sanding it when you get ready. But I'm gonna go mix up some more Bondo. I'm gonna actually mix Bondo this time. I'm gonna touch up right here and put some right here. Let it dry. Sand it real good, and we'll see what it feels like. I'm fighting rain right now, which it never rains where I'm at, and I need to get this cleaned up and covered up before it does rain. So I'm kind of in a hurry. Sorry about the video not showing much, but I'm in a hurry. So we'll get some Bondo mixed up and get it on there and get it sanded. Hey guys, I got my Bondo on there. I almost mixed it too hot. I mean, well, I guess with this humidity in the air today and everything like that, I got it smoothed out right before it started getting real hard on me. And like I said guys, I'm sorry. I wish I could, you know, film this as I'm doing it, but I don't have the capability yet. So we'll see what it looks like after I get this sanded. I'm gonna go in the house for a few minutes and get me something to drink. I just hope I can get this done before the rainstorm. I need to get this primered, and that humidity is going to really screw with the primer, and I hope I can get this done before then. So I'll be right back with y'all. Alright guys, I had to skip a step and I couldn't film it. It started sprinkling, and then the worst thing in the world happened. It started raining on me, and the roof on my carport leaks, and I didn't want my metal to get all surface rusty and all that, because it'd probably be late tomorrow afternoon or even Tuesday before I can get back out here. So I shot 4 coats of filler primer on it. I don't know how well you can tell in the picture, but it came out real good for I mean, I had to start rushing. Now I'm going to spray this with some guide coat, and I'm going to block sand it real well. If I have any low spots, I'll go ahead and put some more filler on there. But it feels real good. It looks real good. I just hope this moisture doesn't affect my primer too much. With the moisture being up, I'm going to at least wait 4 or 5 days before I even think about block sanding it. And it might even be longer than that, because I got somewhere up here, I got a couple dents. think they're right there. I don't know if the camera's picking them up. And then I still got to fix that dent right there. And I still got to weld in that other piece right here. So, I mean, it might even just stay like that for a while. The good thing about it is it's fixed. Shouldn't have to worry about it. And I'm really happy with the way the results turned out. A lot happier than what that stupid patch panel looked like when I tried to do it to that other fender I had. I'm going to go ahead and fix that other fender, and I'm going to turn around and probably just sell it. But I got a little water dripping off right there. I hope that's not affecting that primer. I didn't sand in there real good anyway. That still has a factory paint on it, so I'm hoping it'll be all right. I think I've been going about this car a little bit backwards. And I'm going to show you why. You know, I got my seats redone, and I was going to try to get the interior done and put in. Well, really, I need to get this fixed first so I don't leak. So, it's cold. It has a slight breeze today. And I don't feel totally guilty if I don't get something done. So, today's project is going to be cleaning out the trunk. There's spot welds right here that I don't have to deal with, and everything else to replace this piece. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but you can actually see daylight right here. So that's what I'm going to start doing today, and I'll update you as I go along. I shut my trunk lid. I'll have to show you in a minute. But the first thing I need to do is get this trim off this back window so I can pull it. Somebody put silicone caulk around it as a band-aid. That's not going to work. It's just totally glued in. So I don't know how long it's going to take me to cut all this caulking off here. But I gotta get this back window out to see what patch panels I'm gonna have to make. I gotta get this fixed. It doesn't make any sense to put in $800 worth of new seats and have a leak. I think it all leaks in the trunk, but still, I don't want to do this process with my seats in. So it's even siliconed right there. So I think that's what they did, is just siliconed in the back window. I shouldn't have no problems getting this back window out. So I'm gonna work on this for a minute and I'll get back to you. Okay guys, I want to show you something. People are scared of a little rust, but look at that. Somebody used silicone to help try to prevent the leaks, and all they did was really just hold more water in there, which I'm thankful because it saved my trunk pants. But this is another reason you don't get a car with a vinyl top. I got a bunch, I hope y'all can see this, but I got a bunch of patch panels to make. I mean, I do mean a bunch. So this is going to be done right, or to the best of my ability for the next guy. But I got some holes up there that need to be fixed. See those? It looks like they pulled the rear window out at one time and just re-siliconed it in to prevent the leaks. That's not right. If you're going to do something, pull it out and fix it. And that's what I'm going to do. So let me start working on prying this window out. Oh yeah, let me show you this. This doesn't scare me one bit. If I don't fix it right the first time, I'm going to cut it out and redo it again. I got to rebuild that whole section right there. So doesn't scare me a bit. I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it done to my best of my abilities. I'm going to try to put 10 days on this project. Completely tore apart, put it back together. Let me try to get this rear window out and I'll get back with you. I'll show y'all something else, guys. a screwdriver is lifting this back window out of here. It's not even glued in, because the glue they used in the 70s, after it got hard, it was no good. Okay guys, here's the back piece that went right here. I hope y'all can see that okay. Edge just rusted totally off. Now I got another one of these deck panels, and I think I can cut it carefully, right along this line, and butt weld it together, put a little Bondo on it, and fix it. This other piece is as solid as it's going to be. I do have some, I would say a little bit more than average rust issues right here. I'm going to have to cut that piece out and totally make me a new one, which is no big deal. I'm probably even going to, I can't even get that way. I'm probably even going to have to rebuild some of that support, which that might be a little rough. I am going to have to cut here. I hope y'all can see that. Cut here and rebuild some of this, which the understructure, it feels okay. It just needs a good cleaning. And I need to get out here with a vacuum and suck all that up before I knock it all in my car. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. My whole car needs to be vacuumed anyway. And then I'm going to have to build me a piece to go in there. Somehow. I'm going to learn as I go. That's all I can do. But I guarantee you it's going to be better than it was when it was new. So let me go get my vacuum. And I'm going to vacuum up as much of this crap as I can. I took some of the, I hope y'all can see this. Well, let me get in this way. I took the headliner down to that point. And I don't know if y'all can see it or not, but past the first bow, because when I get back here and start welding, I don't want the headliner to get on fire. But I ground on this quite a bit. This piece of steel, sheet metal, is still good. It's still good right here. So I think I'll be able to, it just needs a couple tacks is all it needs. But I'm going to build a piece, probably past this divot right here up to here. I'm going to curve it, then put my piece of metal on here, tack that together in the shop, and then grind it to try to get the same shape. It looks like probably from this point here, actually, I don't know if I can build it all in one piece, but I need to go clear over there and build me a whole new piece right here, which, like I said, I've never done this before. First time for this major of a rust repair. And I don't care how many times it takes me. If I have to cut it out and weld it back in 5, 6, 7 times to get it right, I'm going to do it. This car is going to be better than what it was new back here. So, I went ahead and added some metal to the end of that and got that cut so I can tack that in right there, get that all put back together. And this piece needs to be hammered back just a hair, but I'll tack that in there like that. It's supposed to be 2 3/8 inches hole right here. Get this tack back on, and that should have that fixed. Now I'll have this hole right here, but I can cut me a small piece of metal and fill that in. That's no issue. I don't even think it's going to affect the insulation. I got this pretty well cleaned up on the inside. After I get this tacked on, where I can wire wheel this, I'm going to wire wheel it, and then I'm going to spray the inside of this with some rust stop. Overall, I think it's going to make a good panel. I've looked at the pictures several times. I've got everything that they sell, except for the front part, and I don't think I need that front part. So let me get this piece tacked on and cleaned up, and I'll show you more. All right, guys, I got this tacked on. It's going to need some hammer and dolly work. It's a little weak right here, but I plan on sticking, I'm going to measure this. I'm going to stick me just a piece of metal behind it and tack it up, grind it smooth. Nobody's actually going to see this piece because it's covered up, and I need to tack up where I accidentally cut into it too. Nobody's actually going to see this piece. So if I can cut a little piece to fit behind it, get it to tack up. The measurements are good all the way across here. It looks just like the other side. So, and like I said, nobody's going to see it. So here's the front view of it. And here's my original patch that I added. Granted, depending on where I cut my car, I might have to make this little strip right here, but I'm hoping that I can cut it right in the middle of here. So, like I said, when I said nobody's going to see it, and a lot of y'all are probably wondering why I went out and cut a panel out of the car, and then I'm trying to fix it. It has nothing to do with money. Actually, it doesn't have nothing to do with money at all. It's the fact that just trying to show people that when you're restoring a classic car, you do not have to have a ton of money. So, and that's all seeming to fit real good. I wish I could, well, I guess I could see that. But anyways, like I was saying, it's a fact that if you put your mind to something, oh, that needs to be hammered up right there. But if you put your mind to something, you can do it. All right, guys, I got this corner better. It's not exact, but I don't think it's gonna affect me none. I went ahead and sprayed it with some rust stop, and pretty much I'm not gonna primer it or anything. That's pretty much the way I'm gonna put it in the car. It's looking, overall, it's looking real good. I noticed when I was spraying the rust stop up there, I have where I ripped through it. So I'll have to cut me a small patch and put in there. But overall, it's turning out pretty nice. I got to do some grinding and stuff on the back yet. Get some of that rust off of there, get it stopped. But I'll see when I get cut into the car if this is actually going to work for me or not. The good thing is I already have all my holes drilled for my spot welds for that top panel. So, and I'm going to say this again, I probably already said it 3 times in this video, but I have the money for this panel. Don't think I don't. It's the challenge of taking something out of another car, fixing it, and putting it in my car. And if this panel absolutely won't work, then I'll order the correct panel and we'll go from there. But I'm not going to say defeat. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is going to work in my car. I know it's probably going to fix a lot of my problems. And we'll go from there. If I have to spend a couple extra hours hammering and dolling it to get it to fit right, then that's what I'll do. And I'm gonna put rust stop on all that, and I'm gonna prime that real good. Then I'll have to grind everywhere. I'm gonna weld it back to bare metal, then reprime it. But it's turning out real good. I'm happy. Then I gotta build my piece right here, which I'll take some cardboard and cut that out and leave it long so I can grind it and make it smooth. That's the only way I'm probably going to be able to do these complex curves like that. Then down here, and I'm going to tell you, I don't like how I did this at all, but it's going to work. I can't really get a good shot of it, but underneath here, the factory built, you know, A-frame, and it has humps in it. Well, there's no way that I could get behind it and weld to it and recreate the humps. So I've laid this piece in here, which is not going to affect anything else I've done. And then when I have the kitty here, I'll fill it in because I already sprayed rust stop back there, and I'll just sand it as smooth as possible and call it good. It's going to be covered up with the cell panel anyway for the headliner. I didn't like it, still don't like it, but that's the only option I had. Then I got this piece cut, which is too long. It's too long on the wrong end. I got to add a little piece to it in the middle. And then I'll take this piece and I'll lay that corner trim piece for the back window on here and mark it. And I'll grind that to fit. And it won't bother me a bit if it's sunk into the quarter panel, because this piece is going to be tacked to it. That's the only way I could figure out how to fix it. I'm not sure that that's right, and I'm not telling anybody else to fix their stuff that way. I'm just saying that's how I'm going to have to do it on this car without removing the whole quarter panel. I'm doing the best I can, trying to do, fix it the right way as best as I can, but sometimes you just have to do what you have to do, and I don't like it, but I'm going to have to live with it. So that's what I've been doing. More rust. I was out here working on the Monty again today. I didn't film what I was doing, but I'm going to give you an update and show you what I was doing. Now, I rebuilt this piece, made a new one right here. I didn't like the old one at all. Two, I hope y'all can see this. See, ouch, I can't see nothing in my camera screen. See, I built that piece, so that's brand new all the way down. So, and I built this piece, got it tacked in here. I got some holes right here I got to fix, and then I got a little bit of pick. I'll stick that up and try to get that a little bit. Well, that's not too bad at all. I think I'm just going to weld it. And then, just for grins, here's my trim piece. And I'm not, well, once I get this in the 100% right position, I'm not too far off. So when I build this little piece to turn to here, I'll just leave it on the outside and that'll fix that. So when I build that little curved piece, because I got to have a channel right here for the window to sit in, to here, I'm going to just come off of here, bend me a little piece over, and then bend me a piece to fit this curve. So I'll probably cut this curve first, tack it in, and then build this other piece to slide under it, and then mark it, cut it, tack it all together right there. So it's not, I didn't completely weld this yet, and I still have to cut this off, but that's how it looks. And I mean, once I get the body filler on it, the kitty hair, I don't think you'll ever be able to tell. I got to do the exact same thing for the other side. Now, this is not sitting 100% where it's supposed to be, so I might be right on. So I'm not going to get in too big of a panic yet. I need to bang out a dent here underneath because that's a little too deep to fill. And then I got to hammer all this straight, so this will be a straight line. But other than that, guys, it's coming along pretty good. Just wanted to give y'all a quick update. I'm liking it. For this major of rust repair and being a shade tree mechanic, I really don't think it's coming out too bad. So I think, yeah, from that point all the way around to here, the best of my abilities. And before people start yelling and screaming, well, I'm putting it over paint. No, I'm not putting it over paint. All that's going to be sanded off. But curiosity kind of got to the kitty cat today, and I only have today, and then the weather's supposed to turn off crappy again. So I was just kind of curious how my body work is coming. And you know, it doesn't have to, all it has to do is fill up the pinholes. I hope y'all can see this. And then I'll go back over it with actual, don't want to drip it in the car. I'll go back over it with actual Bondo. But I'm just trying to get all these pinholes filled up with this kitty hair, because I'm not the perfect welder. Ouch. And I always seem to either mix too much or too little. I can't ever mix the exact amount I need. And it's already starting to harden on me. I'm trying to keep it off this rail right here. That way my glue will stick. So I'm gonna let that dry. All right, guys, got the first layer sanded, and that's exactly what that is, first layer. It has some rust spots in it, but that's gonna be okay. I'm gonna Bondo this whole section. I'll probably end up having Bondo probably out to here, because what I want to do is I want to make sure this whole thing is nice and flat and curved right, and I have to get out far enough that my long block sander will, and this doesn't feel that bad. There's a low spot right here. This is high and that's low, but I didn't spread the Bondo this way far enough because I knew I was going to have to grind it out and tack all that up anyway. But man, another couple coats of Bondo and you won't even be able to tell I did anything. But like I said, I'm probably going to Bondo out a good 8-10 inches, and then I'm going to sand it, and then I got to come back in here when I do some more kitty hair and fill up this factory seam. This cracked on me, and I think it's because of the heat from them banging on it. So that's how that looks. I think that looks pretty good. It needs a lot more work. Probably got another 40-50 hours just to get the back window back in the car. I started working on this curved panel piece right here. The bottom's done. It's got to be trimmed just like the rest of them, ground, and then somewhere laying around here I got the other piece. It'll go into there, and I'm left it long so I can put it in there, then cut it off right at the very end. That's about all I've done to the car. Hey guys, I'm back on this Monte Carlo. Been working on this corner pretty hard today. I hope y'all can see that. Got my curve piece welded in there. I still have to cut off the excess. I gotta get this car going. Car show season's starting to come back, and as you can tell, yes, it does still need some work, but that looks great. That matches up with my bottom trim piece. Went ahead and welded all that up. There's still a few pinholes. I just got these bottom corners to do, and then I can finish welding in this piece, which it's pretty solid right now, but I still need to finish welding in that piece, and then I need to do a bunch of Bondo. Actually, sorry, I need to do a bunch of fiberglass, reinforced fiberglass body work, and then I got to do the Bondo, And then after I get all that done, then I got to put my screws and my clips in there to hold my trim in, which that's going to be quite a few. I almost got my goal accomplished today. I got that piece all tacked in there. Granted, I got to do a bunch of grinding. I'm not going to break out the air hose, get out my little grinder. This area right here, I'll add some more weld and try to get that more round. Rest of it's probably just going to be body filler. That's a little high right there, and then that's way low right there. So I'm getting her done. I'm doing it to the best of my ability. I've never done this complex of a rust repair before. I have fixed some rust on this car, but it was flat, no curves. Even if I have to build this up a little bit with a little Bondo, it's not, I mean, by the time I get the fiberglass filler on it and sand it, I think I'm going to be just fine. It was a little high right there, so I went ahead and, yeah, that's much better. So, and I hate to say this, I really don't want this, but this whole rear window section, after I'm done, is going to have a coat of Bondo on it. And I hate that, but you got to do what you got to do. This car is going to be nice. I should go get the back glass and lay it in here and see how that looks. Let me go do that for y'all right quick. Man, I don't think there's going to be anything wrong with that right there. I mean, it needs to come up on the top, but, oh, that slid down on me. That's why I had it positioned just right. But I don't think there's going to be anything wrong with that right there. Probably am going to have to hammer that ridge up a little bit, but as thick as that glue is, I think I'm going to be just fine. Now, this is sticking up a little bit because that excess, my blade on my cutoff wheel is not quite long enough. And I think I got something laying underneath it too. But that's how it's going to look. I think that's going to look pretty darn gone good if you ask for somebody that's just done it. And then I can't get to the trim pieces now, of course, but the trim pieces will go around it. And this is a glass I found out of another car. It's in pretty good shape. I'm going to go take it and get it tinted before I ever glue it in. Matter of fact, I think I'm just going to leave it laying right there. So we've been getting a lot of rain. The less moisture I can keep in the car, the better off I am. If you made it to this part of the video, I appreciate y'all watching. I wanted to bring back some old video where I was first starting out YouTube and re-edit it and put it together a little bit better for y'all. If y'all want me to bring this car back, let me know. Comment below. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that little notification bell so you know every time I post a video. And again, I really hope y'all enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.